Few modern television series have captured the public's imagination quite like Yellowstone. Created by Taylor Sheridan, the neo-Western drama quickly became a cultural juggernaut, blending traditional American frontier themes with modern political intrigue and family power struggles. Yet behind the scenes, Yellowstone has faced its own set of conflicts, most notably between Sheridan and series lead Kevin Costner. At the center of this dispute lies a fundamental misunderstanding. Costner's discomfort with John Dutton's darker narrative arc stands in stark contrast to the very foundation of the show itself. Sheridan's vision, the Godfather in Montana. From the outset, Taylor Sheridan had a clear and uncompromising vision for Yellowstone. In interviews, including one with a Hollywood Reporter, Sheridan described his pitch as the Godfather in Montana. This wasn't just a catchy tagline, it was a narrative blueprint. Much like the Corleone saga in Mario Puzo's crime epic, Yellowstone was designed to explore themes of power, loyalty, legacy, and moral decay. Sheridan initially intended Yellowstone to be a feature film centered on the Dutton family, the owners of the largest contiguous ranch in the United States. However, as the scope of the story expanded, he pivoted towards serialized television. After HBO passed on the project, citing concerns that it felt too middle America, Sheridan brought it to Paramount Network, where the series premiered in 2018 and immediately resonated with audiences. From the pilot episode onward, Sheridan made it clear that moral ambiguity and violence were integral to the Duttons' world. Whether it was Case Dutton killing his wife's brother or Beth Dutton using ruthless corporate tactics, the show never shied away from showing the blood cost of legacy. These elements weren't deviations, they were the essence of the show. Kevin Costner's moral dilemma. Despite the show's growing success, tensions between Sheridan and Costner began to surface by season 2. Reports indicated that Costner had grown increasingly uncomfortable with the direction his character, John Dutton, was taking. He allegedly felt that the character's actions, particularly those involving violence and moral compromise, betrayed the values of a principled family man and protector of the land. Sheridan, however, pushed back against this interpretation. In a candid interview, he recalled telling Costner, "Kevin, you do remember that I told you this is essentially the Godfather on the largest ranch in Montana? Are you that surprised that the Godfather is killing people?" The disconnect was clear. While Costner viewed Dutton through the lens of traditional Western heroism, honorable, stoic, and bound by duty, Sheridan envisioned a complex antihero, shaped as much by the brutal demands of legacy as by loyalty or love. A brief course correction. In response to Costner's concerns, Sheridan made subtle adjustments in Season 3 to steer John Dutton's character closer to the actor's vision. These changes were well received, earning Costner a Golden Globe Award in 2023. However, even these course corrections did not fundamentally alter the show's darker undertones. The reality remains that John Dutton, like Michael Corleone, was always meant to become a figure whose power came at great personal and moral cost. Sheridan's narrative was never interested in glorifying the myth of the noble cowboy. Instead, it sought to interrogate the price of power and the burden of preserving a legacy at all costs. The fallout and misaligned expectations. Ultimately, the growing rift between Costner and Sheridan went beyond creative differences. Scheduling conflicts and disagreements over filming commitments deepened the divide, leading to Costner's eventual departure from the series. While the end of Dutton's arc may have felt abrupt to some, Sheridan's broader vision remained consistent. The deeper issue appears to be one of expectation. Costner signed onto a series that, from its very inception, was about moral complexity, not moral clarity. His belief that John Dutton should remain unsullied by the darker themes of violence and betrayal stands in contrast to the character Sheridan wrote and the show Sheridan sold. In The Godfather, Michael Corleone's descent wasn't a deviation from his legacy, it was the fulfillment of it. Likewise, John Dutton was never meant to be a purely heroic figure. He was a man caught between tradition and survival, shaped by a world that demands hard choices and blood sacrifices. Conclusion: a misunderstood legacy. In the end, Kevin Costner's discomfort with John Dutton's moral descent reflects a misalignment not with the character, but with the show's very premise. Yellowstone was always a story about power, not virtue, about the cost of inheritance, not its nobility. Taylor Sheridan never promised a nostalgic Western. He delivered a contemporary saga of family, empire, and the darkness they often breed. And in that saga, John Dutton was not an exception. He was its inevitable product.